2022. And I got the fan blowing on me. Let me move that around. And CPI day. So, potential big moves today, right? All right, quickly, yesterday when we came in, or when I made the video, we kind of had this little up move. I had a trend line here, something like that. We were banging our head up against this resistance, and sure enough, we opened up the market and we dropped down below the trend line. Could have actually taken a short here. Pretty standard play, little trend line play. Taking a short here, even though we retraced, maybe rechecked out that trend line, but we ended up coming down to support, 35.85 roughly, right? So, 25 points might be worth it. At any rate, we came down and hit support, bounced, and we kind of just hung out in a 30-point range all day, right? I mean, realistically, this was our range. And we ended up finalizing the day right around 35.85, which held support. And that's a big area because of the weekly 200-week moving average right down there. We drop below that, potential recession. That's what it indicates. Any rate, that was yesterday. Kind of a tough day, kind of a washing machine day. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, until the end there. Okay. I want to show you a couple things before we get on to today. And this is back up until, August 16th or so. And what a lot of Elliott Wave people are saying, and I like Elliott Wave, but I'm not a master or nothing like that. What they're showing is potentially something like this, right? There's your 3, here's your 4, and then 5 down here. So let me put this down. And the 5 wave can come down to something like this. Maybe the 18, 19. I think that's a little low, maybe something right around there. Okay, so that's 34.50 area. It's also our weekly targets for this week for the ES. So based on CPR, based on these little ranges down here for the week. I would anticipate next week, because of the tight range that we've pretty much been in this week, that these would tighten up some more. But at any rate, they're there. It's a number. It's kind of funny how everything kind of coincides, but we'll see. I think, when I switch over to SPY, I'll show it again, and it looks a little better, a little easier to see. At any rate, just something to keep in mind. So kind of final target, 34.50 area. Just kind of based on Elliott Waver's systems. All right. I don't really care about that. That's longer away. Maybe next week. Let's talk about today. I don't think we'll get there today. So let's talk about where potentially we could get to today. So we're making a move up this morning. Had a trend line here. Option or our future guys could have taken this long and probably been up 4 points if you would have taken it long there. Any rate, I'll do the same here and do something like this. It's quite a bit steeper, but it might work out for CPI data when it comes out, which comes out in about another hour. Okay, so CPRs, the central pivot range is running right around 3604.75. So 3605, 36 or 3604.50, somewhere in there. we have a bottom of 36.98.75 and a top of 36.10.50, which we just broke through and moving up. We have a resistance area, which again we're hitting the top of now from 36.06 to 36.13. You can see these resistance areas, they actually play out pretty nicely. We have target 1 of 36.20, target 2 of 36.35, and target 3 of 36.43. So that's to the upside. If we get a favorable CPI number, meaning a lot lower, low sevens, this thing's going to rocket ship. If we get a number 7.8, 7.9, 8 plus, then this thing's going to drop down. So if we drop down, support will be, and this support will not hold, 35.79, 35.72. And then target 1, 35.68. Again, I don't think that'll hold. This is also weekly support. It's not going to hold. Target 2, 35.51. And target 3, 35.44. So I showed you my downward targets where I think we'll eventually come down to. It really depends on the CPI number. So when this number pops out, we will all know. But these are my daily range. Again, I don't know how useful they are like on a big movement day like this. When I look at the last time we had a CPI, Fed day, right here. That was a monster day. So that day we dropped from 41.60 roughly. And by the end of the day, 41.60, we closed at 39.50. So 41.60, so almost 200 points. That was a big day. I don't know if I would anticipate a 200-point day today, but we could get a sizable drop today if the number's too bad. So, I like 3,500. That's 100 points. The market, whenever it drops, 100 points is always my little number that I say, okay, that's a good goal number to get to. 100 points, 120, 130, but then we usually get a bounce at the end of the day to put us back at 100. So, yeah, it's kind of my thinking. All right, SPY. SPY. And I thought this shows it pretty well. Like if I went from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, okay, you can see I've had a target and everything set up. If I look at that and say, okay, within like this wave 1, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you get an ABC. And then you get a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So now we need another, in my opinion, we need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe to bring us down here. Okay, these numbers I think will after today's CPI data, they'll trip out a little bit. So meaning they'll probably revert to more of a 1, 2, 3 down. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see. These little marks here are the central pivot range and toss. So anyway, I just think that's kind of neat to look at. For me, I understand it pretty well, and that's it. Everything looks right, which I like things that make sense in my brain. Okay, Apple. We've been playing this, so if you play it, great. Hopefully I've helped you out and given you some insight. I've seen some target ranges from 135 to 127. So if we have a big CPI date, 127 is definitely in the cards. Apple right now, we're going to open up at 139 roughly if everything goes, but CPI still hasn't come out yet. At any rate, it's right at 139. So if we have a bad CPI numbers, this 135 may just be the beginning. So the way you play this, when you see these Elliott waves, and you see a 1, 2, 3, we get a 4 retracement. You don't play from 3 to 4. You can, it's just tough. The goal here is to take your money. Same with the wave 2. See how we go sideways? It's to take your money. So when you identify a wave 2, you're better off just, hey, I'll take a couple days off here. Play the wave 3 down, right? A lot of times the wave 3 down doesn't start till it passes 1. So you lose a little bit, but hey, look at down, up, and then we finally went down. And even then they faked you out by going back up. So, but once you understand the Elliott wave, you would take this short before close of the day, right? And then you play this nice drop down, and you make your money probably for the month, right? One trade. Okay, so on wave 4, it's kind of the same thing. Wave 4.
Order submitted.
Yeah, my automated system. Wave 4, you can play this drop as soon as we drop this, wave 5. Now, another way to play that is as soon as we come up and we have identified a wave 4, like I said before, and like I said when we were up here, play 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out would have put you out. You would still have another full week. So tomorrow will be the end of week 1, and you'll still have another week to get to your target that I originally gave at 135. You can see 135 from 137 is not a big, 138 is not a big downward draft, but the point was when you're up here, these things are cheap, and hopefully you made money. Or if you bought in the money, 145, you're going to be up $7-8 by the time we get to here. So at the end of the day, that's kind of my thought process. If we drop down to 127, I mean, holy smokies, those 140s are going to be worth 8 times, 10 times what I bought them for. So, at any rate, just something, that's the way I play these. Give yourself some time to be right. Right? That's the old saying. Give yourself time to be right. Okay, that's enough of your time. Have a good day. And be careful on CPI.